Okay, welcome back, everyone. And true to my word, I'm going to keep this episode pretty simple and pretty quick. Today, we're going to do stomp-based parameter control. And to be fair, this is somewhat limited because we don't have a lot of options with MIDI control on the QC right now, meaning we can't directly select a block and do anything with it. But we can work around that somewhat by leveraging the expression pedals. Since we can assign any given parameter, pretty much, almost anything, I think, to an expression pedal for control, and since we can send expression pedal commands via MIDI, we've got a loophole here where we can enable, let's say you're in scene mode, like we are right now on the QC, and you're switching scenes either via the MIDI controller or via the QC, it doesn't really matter. But you want to preserve and have a single stomp-based parameter. I want to affect one block and change a parameter on it. If you're not using an expression pedal, I have one assigned here, but let's say you're not using it at all, then you can affect two parameters, potentially. So our setup here is we have an overdrive, and maybe we want to have a stomp-based action to boost the gain a little bit for a solo. So let's go ahead and come into here. And since my physical pedal is assigned to expression 1, I'm going to use expression 2 for this. So we hit our three-dot menu, if we can get that right, at a weird angle. We assign expression pedal, and I'm going to pick expression pedal 2. And in this case, we're going to assign it to gain. There we go. And that's all we really need to do from that end. I'm going to there we go. I'm going to keep that open so you can see expression pedal 2, and I can move this pedal and nothing happens. So that is expression pedal 1. Expression pedal 2 is free for us to use. So in this preset, I'm just making sure I'm on A here. We're going to do lead boost, we'll call this. And we're going to engage toggle mode for this. And on our release we're going to call this position 1. We want to send control change. And in this case, we're going to leverage the expression pedals. So that's going to be CC2 for expression pedal 2. And let's say we want this first value to be so we're at like 50% gain now. Let's go. We don't want to go full bore, but let's go to like 100 for the CC value. So that's slightly above half, be like, 70, 75%-ish. If you remember, we have 128 values to play with. So where we are now is 64. We're boosting it up to 100. And then we can come down here and say release position 2. We're going to put it back to where we are. So we're going to do the same CC number 2, and we're going to do 64 as our value. And I'm going to save that. And so now if I hit this, the first time it's not going to do anything because it's kind of resetting it to the value we already have. But if I hit it again, you can see that the value is now boosted. So that's our boost position. And I can give these names. And then if I hit it again, it toggles back to where it was. So probably don't want to call that lead boost. Probably want to call that normal. And we'll call the toggle name lead boost. I think I have this right. And let's go ahead and save that. And good. We are in normal mode. And then when I toggle it, it's lead boost. You can change these names to whatever your preference is. I would probably prefer this to be the other way, where if I stomp it right now, I'd want it to go back to normal. And then hitting it again would, take me to the lead boost. But that's it. So we can do parameter-based stomp toggles. It's just a little bit limited. If you happen to have two pedals or two blocks where you wanted to boost them by exactly the same amount or use that same value, you could do that. you would just assign expression to that second block. If we wanted like a delay, whatever, and we could assign an expression pedal to that as well, and whatever. Let's say we want to boost the mix. Although it's going to go back down, right? This is the problem. That's going to go up, but it's always going to come back, right? Like 50% mix is maybe a bit high in 78. So, but if you just so happen to have two values where the parameter works out, that's great. But if you're not using an expression pedal, you could map this to expression 1 instead. And then you could set dedicated values for that. So you would add here. So, well, let's just do that. So I want to do the mix. I would come back to this preset, and on release, I'm going to send CC. This is also going to be position 1. In this case, I'm going to use CC1 because that's expression pedal 1. And I don't know that these numbers are going to be exact, but we want like a low mix to start. So we want like maybe a 30. And then for position 2, which is like our lead, we want to bump it up a little bit. We want more of that. So CC1, maybe there we want to go to 50%. So we want to go to our 64 there. And now if I save this, we should see our delay being controlled. So there's our normal, 23.6% mix, and we go to a 50% mix on there. And on our OD block, we are kicking that up. I guess I have these reversed. Let's go position 2, position 1. So when that is up at a higher gain, this is also up at that higher mix. And when that is at the lower mix, that is down at our midpoint of gain, right? So we can toggle up to, we can toggle as many blocks as we want because we can assign expression pedals to all the blocks in the world. You just have to hope that the values you're sending are correct if there's overlap. But realistically, you could do 2 blocks simultaneously if you're not leveraging your expression pedal for anything else at that time, if you have them mapped. And now you have stomp-based parameter control. That's it for this one. I'm trying to keep it short. So have a good weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one.